Welcome everybody tonight to our Tuesday evening training. We are going to be discussing the 90-day run, all right, or as I like to call it, the 8 to faint, 90 days of 8 to faint. You start at 8 o'clock in the morning and you work till you faint at night. But there's a number of things to remember as we get into this, okay? So I'm going to be giving you a lot of bullet points. And hey, looks like we got a guy coming in here. Second guy for tonight. Nice. But so I understand that all of you come from different walks of life, different backgrounds. You have responsibilities, you have family, you may have a job, responsibilities in life. And so when I joined For Life, I jumped in. I jumped in the pool. All right. And I just went for it. And so Gabby had a job. She was working at Walmart at the Vision Center. And so she was doing her thing. We were dating at the time. And so I just really, went for it to do as much as I could, as quickly as I could. All right. Now, here's what I'll say about the 90-day run, 8 to faint. 1, try not to do it alone. All right. You want to find a partner. You want to find someone you can run with. All right. That's important because if you've ever gone for a jog and you just jog by yourself, it's not as fun as when you're jogging with somebody else. Okay. So try to find someone that wants to run with you, preferably your sponsor. All right. If you're new. Now, if you're re-engaging, let's say you're a presidential or you're a diamond and you're looking for somebody new to work with, go out, try to find someone that will run with you. All right. But try not to do the run, the 90-day run by yourself. Number 1. Okay. Number 2, you have to have a plan. All right. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to run. Right. Even people that do run, runners that jog and they run, they know ahead where they're going to go. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to take a right. I'm going to go down there and take a left. And so you need to kind of think ahead a little bit, have a plan, a sense of direction. Okay. Number 3, be realistic. Don't just say, I'm going to make $10,000. No, you need to get specific about your 90 days. Okay. If you're just getting started, like I have a guest here, actually, she's going to be a constant regular guest, Michelle. She's right here. She's our neighbor here in La Mesa. You guys might remember the story of me getting my hair cut for Christmas. She's the one that cut my hair. So here she is. And so, I feel fortunate and blessed that Michelle, she's just starting. So we're going to get, Gabby and I are going to get to run with Michelle, and so having a plan is important. So whoever, if you're going to do this with someone like Siobhan, you're a good example, you and Jillian, let's say, okay. And then maybe you're running with some more people that want to get in the group and run with you. Doesn't just have to be you and one other person, right? Eventually you might be doing your 90-day run. And, I love Forrest Gump. Have you seen Forrest Gump? He started running by himself, right? And what happened? Pretty soon people started joining him. That's what you want. You want people that want to get in and run with you. All right. Because they also want a sense of purpose. So, you get started, you start your run. All right. You're talking to people, and it really is what we call massive action. So you can do it part-time, meaning that when you're engaged in your For Life business, you keep the main thing. Now, what's that? Prospecting. The lifeblood of this business is talking to people. All right. So when we say run or we say massive action, it's prospecting. That's the lifeblood. You could spend all day in front of the computer learning and reading and studying and get all caught up in analysis paralysis. But at the end of the 90-day run, you haven't gone anywhere. You're in the same place. So you do need to prepare, meaning that prospecting, what does that mean? It means you're going to talk to some people. You're going to make phone calls. You're going to invite as many people as you can. And as you're inviting people, you're going to get better at your messaging. You're going to get better at learning who's ready for your message, who's not ready for your message. In fact, a great example, Michelle, talked to someone today about, Michelle, if you don't mind real quick, open your mic up. I'll unmute you. And you went out already and first person you talked to actually kind of, in a way, just kind of thought, kind of shot you down, right?
Yeah. Just wasn't as open.
Right. So,
Or
and that's going to happen. That's, you have to be, as I said, be realistic, So as you talk to people and start sharing, inviting people, right, you'll get better at your messaging the more that you learn. And guess what the best educator in the world is? Experience. There is no substitute for experience. Okay. So the 90-day run just simply means you are heavily engaged in the prospecting mode of talking to people. Okay. Now that's step number 2 in my plan of action. And to find my plan of action, let me show y'all here real quick. I think most of you know where it is. But if you go to my Upline Pro website, can you see my screen? Okay, uplinePro.com,
Yes.
very simple. Click on Education Library. Go to Training Documents in the library. That takes you to a couple of folders. You got Portuguese, Spanish, and English. Click on English. Right there is my simple proven plan of action in PDF. Download it. So there's a little bit of, for homework for everybody. Just go download that. Put it in your phone if you want to, print it out, put it by your bedside. But the whole point is you need a plan, okay? A plan of action. Step number 2 in my plan is prospecting. That's the lifeblood of the business. The way you build your business is by delivering a message, talking to people, invite. Okay. Now, you want to pace yourself. Okay. Look, the last couple of days, I told Gabby yesterday, I sat in this chair where I am right here for 4.5 hours, of which 2 of them were with Michelle, which is great. I love it. But the point is, 4.5 hours, I didn't get up. And when I did get up, I said to Gabby, I says, my gosh, I need to go for a walk. I need to move. And the point is that you have to pace yourself, because you can get burnt out if you're just, go. So pace yourself a little bit. Now, here's what happened to me and Jeff Algilbers. When I sponsored Jeff, I was running by myself. I was alone during the month of end of October, 1998, November, December 27th was the day I talked to Jeff. He had been in network marketing before. All right. Didn't have any incredible success, but had some success. But he knew the process. He knew the deal. And so when he finally joined, he and I decided together, we will do this 90-day massive action, 8 to faint for 90 days. We made an agreement to do that. All right. And we each had a role. We were kind of like tag team. You know how in wrestling, you tag the person, they jump in the ring and you go back and forth. So my role as Jeff's sponsor was, number 1, be at my post. He would message me in the morning and he'd say, or he'd call me. He'd say, Dave, are you at your post? Meaning that I'm right here, ready to go, scrub me up. All right, ready for operation. And so he would basically get on the phone and start calling people, and he would invite them. And even though he knows networking, he's a good leader and so forth, he knew the importance of my third-party validation, working as a team, strength in numbers and law of averages, meaning that the more people that you have that are sharing the same message, same story, creates synergy, all right, energy. And so he would invite people to the table. And these are just regular people that he knew. And I would talk to them, he would talk to them. And we got really good at working together, Jeff and I, during that 90-day run. And I can't remember, I sponsored 200 and something people during that 90 days. I will say it was a lot of work, but understand this business, I was telling Michelle this before we got on this call, we were talking, this business is a bit like a rocket ship. You burn 80% of your fuel getting out of the atmosphere. But once you're out in the atmosphere, you're in space, It doesn't take the same amount of energy to move distances. It just takes tweaks here and there. That's kind of how this business is. You give it all you got, you work massive action. It's going to be emotional. I tell people, look, embrace the ride, enjoy the ride. You ever been on a roller coaster ride? It's emotional, right? So you're going to have ups and downs. Everything's magnified, meaning that when you get rejected, it's emotional. When you spawn, I mean, I'm extremely excited to work with Michelle. I feel like I just started For Life back in 1998. Seriously, it's always fun when you have somebody new to run with. You see, that's how it was with Jeff Algobes. That's how it was with Arminio. When Arminio, even though I'm not his sponsor, I spent 5 years working with him, you know, and yeah, I mentored and trained and did all that with him in the beginning, but he's his own leader. He's a great leader, you know. My role was helping him get started. So, but when you start working with someone, understand that there's this give and take, all right? As I said earlier, people can be busy. They've got things that they're doing. And so you need to establish, if you're working with someone or some people that you're working with, you've got to establish your schedules when you're in the game and you're running, all right? When you're at your post and you're not at your post. And I'll be honest, you know, I messaged Michelle early this morning and didn't hear back from her all day. Well, guess what's going through my head? She probably got shot down. If I went talk to someone, they told her, that's not going to work, you know. But, you know, I too have to have faith and say, you know what, she's strong. She'll hang in there, you know. Sure enough, she messaged me. I forget what it was. Michelle, it was like maybe 2 p.m. or something, and said, hey, well, let's talk at 5. But again, it's emotional, you guys, all right? As you talk to people, as people say yes and no and maybe and so forth, okay? Emotions are magnified, especially in that 90-day run, okay? The other thing is you have to be realistic and understand not everybody's going to be ready for your message, all right? Some will, some won't, so what, all right? And understand tomorrow's always another day. Adriana can talk to 10 people today and they all signed up. Michelle could talk to 10 people today and all 10 reject her. And tomorrow it's the opposite. Michelle talks to 10 people and they all sign up. Adriana talks to 10 and none of them sign up. That's just the way it is, you see? So you never know. Every day tends to be a mystery. I love it. You know, I actually enjoy the ride. I look at it like a game. You know, I told Michelle earlier, it's kind of like playing chess. I make a move, you make a move. I make a move, you make a move. So, but be realistic about it, okay? So in that 90-day run, pace yourself, communicate with people that you might be working with. And if you're working alone and you're starting to scout out new people, stay involved. Involvement creates commitment. All right? That's another one of my one-liners. You must stay involved. And I applaud you all and appreciate you for being here with me tonight. All right? You're involved. You're engaged. That's important. But what's also important is you don't just want to come to the table by yourself all the time. You want to get somebody else to the table. Okay? So you do what you can. Invite, invite, and invite. If you're brand new, it's not your job to explain it all. Okay? You should have enough influence to invite someone to take a look at your new business. If you open a taco shop and you love making tacos and you want to invite people to come try your tacos, taste your tacos, all right? You would hope that people that are friends of yours would at least come and try a taco and support you. Same way with this. Invite them just to come have a look. And if they ask, well, what is it? Just say, look, I have a partner that I started working with. I'm really excited. This is a very experienced individual. They can explain it much better than I, but I'll tell you, it's health and wellness. It's a $1 trillion industry. There are people making some serious money in this business with a wonderful company and a wonderful technology that's patented. And it really can have a positive impact on your health, wellness, your life. Just come take a look. I invite you. I'm inviting you as a friend to just come and look. So if you're new, your job is really to get people to come to the table. The more people that you can get and leverage leverage yourself, meaning you use people around you that are more experienced. Maybe they've been delivering the message for a long time. Maybe they've got a testimony that when they share that, it's very passionate, but you leverage your time by using other people, OPP, other people's people. All right. And that works the same way. So let's get into now in the 90 days of what I did. Okay. Because an interesting thing happened with Jeff. All right. It's called life. All right. People in life, have challenges, things happen in life. And when Jeff got started with me, he went through a challenged relationship, in his marriage, and ended up going through divorce. And two things that are not good for our business. One is divorce and the other is marriage. Marriage, you're in love so much, you don't care about anything else. All right. Divorce, your head's not in the game. All right. And that's kind of happened. So here's what I did. As you're doing your 90 days and you're talking to people, understand as a networker, my job, my goal is to turn you all into professional, awesome, incredible networkers. Okay. As a networker, it's not just who you know. OPP, other people's people. People know people. So as a networker, you want to get in and start meeting people that your people know. So my job with Michelle as we get started is I can't wait until she starts introducing me to people she knows. Hopefully it's even family. Maybe Gabby and I will get to meet her parents, let them know about what we're doing with this business. And maybe I don't know, Michelle, if you have siblings or not, but I would hope that family members support your business and what you're doing. And she already said her children, her kids are excited about what she's starting, with this business. But my responsibility as her sponsor is to get into her circle of influence and start meeting people. Kind of like at a party. If we were at a party and Michelle was hosting it, she probably would introduce me to people. Hey, Dave and Gabby, this is George over here, and he's in the car business, owns a car dealership in San Diego, and there are people that are like that. They just love introducing people to people, and that takes me to number 3 in my plan. We'll touch on that more in a minute here, which is getting to identify people that you're working with. But your goal during that 90 days is OPP, other people's people. So with Jeff, what happened was signing up people, he's bringing them to the table, we're getting them excited, we're talking about Forward Life, we're talking about Transfer Factor. Understand a couple of points. 1, people buy you first. They buy you first. So they buy your energy, they buy how you feel about what you're doing. All right. They buy how you feel about what you say, not just what you say, but how you say it. There's different ways to say things. If you come across about something that you really don't care about, you sound boring, you're just not confident and so forth, well, people are going to buy you first. So, show a bit of enthusiasm, excitement about this journey that you're on. All right. Share some knowledge and that you're excited about these products. I love it. Like when talking to Michelle from the very beginning, I mean, my gosh, if I read you guys the text, how, she's fallen in love with the Aqua. She loves health and wellness. She sees our products, the quality product line, even the image of the products, the branding and so forth. So as she's throwing this at me, I get excited too. It's like, let's go, So it's not always what you say, but how you say it. People buy you first. It's also important to know strangers that you talk to will tend to believe you more than those that know you. Okay? They know who you are. All right. Now, if you're a doctor and you've been in the medical industry, most of your life, and you're telling people that you came across something called Transfer Factor that you're excited about, chances are they'll probably listen to you because you bring that credibility to the table. All right. But most people don't. All right. So OPP, or other people's people, is very beneficial. Here's why. When you're talking to your warm market, people that know you, they see you one way only, through their lens, through their eyes. when you talk to a stranger. They don't know if you started yesterday or if you're an intergalactic diamond. They don't know the difference, you see? So therefore, you can be who you want to be when you're talking to someone, that's brand new, that doesn't know who you are. That's why I find cold market fun. So in your 90-day plan of action, think warm market, cold market. All right? Warm market, you can begin practicing on your warm market. My first phone call was to my grandma. Hey, grandma, I want to chat about my new business. I wanted to practice on her. She's 96 years old. I mean, she passed away a long time ago. She'd be like 120 right now. She was 96 years old. You know what she said? Are you sure you want to do that? I said, yes, grandma, I'm sure. And she bought a bottle of Transfer Factor from me because she loves me. Then my father, I called him. You know what my dad said? Son, you're broke. You should probably get a real job. And I said, Dad, I know what I'm doing here, all right? My dad's an international diamond, by the way, or a bronze. We call it bronze today. So, but the point is this. Warm market, the people that know you're going to be the most critical on you, okay? So as a networker in this 90-day run, as quickly as possible, you want to try getting into your people's people that don't know you. So here's what you have to do. And I'm challenging all of you right now. Declare yourself. What do I mean by declare yourself? Be the leader that you are. All right? You're all leaders. You're all wonderful leaders. All right? Meaning that take responsibility when one of the people that you're working with brings someone to the table. Be a good upline, be a good sponsor, be at your post when necessary, be responsible. If you say, let's do a Zoom, and by the way, this happened to me today, I felt really bad. I had an 11 o'clock Zoom with the guy, Bruce, who signed up with a fast start from North Carolina over the weekend. Had an 11 o'clock Zoom with him. And I don't know why, I was hungry. Ran downstairs to get breakfast, hadn't eaten breakfast. It's 11 o'clock. And I realized it was 11, ran back upstairs. Luckily, he had his people ready to go. He had two of them, Flo and Chi were their names. All right. And did the Zoom call. But the point is, be responsible. Be at your post when you're doing your business. That takes the communication. If you're not, because you have to go to work, you got to do this, let the people know that you're running with, that you're not available during that time. All right. Communicate. Okay. And as you start talking to your warm market people, understand that they're going to be more critical on you than the cold market. So embrace cold market. It's funny. I don't know why people sometimes have fear of talking to cold market, because cold market's the easiest to talk to. They don't know who you are, So you can, you engage in conversation and you get really good, at talking and messaging. Tell them about your new venture, your new business, your side hustle. Got this new business I started, home-based business, working right from home. I love it. I get support from people all over the world, and we're having a positive impact on people's lives. We're helping people, and it's just amazing. It's nice to be in this environment, this community with all these positive people, and they're making money. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to at least take a look inside the door and say, what's going on in that room? So cold market. I challenge all of you in the next, Claudia said 80 days, but to me it's 90 days. All right. I guess we got January, February, and March. So by my birthday, which is April 8th, how about that? Okay. Between now and April 8th, all right, I challenge you to talk to some cold market people when you're out and about. Go somewhere. All right. Whether it's going to the Chamber of Commerce and engaging, finding out when they have a meeting, whether it's looking up seminars in your area and saying, you know what, someone's coming into town, they're talking about la da da da, and you go just to network and meet people. All right. Maybe it's at church. Maybe you go to church on Sundays and you're usually just quiet at church. Start saying hello, shaking hands, engaging in conversations. All right. Now, as a networker, understand a few simple disciplines can equal multiple great rewards. A few simple disciplines. Good example, when I was sitting in the chair getting my haircut, I could have just sat there and talked about anything. Michelle wouldn't be here today. She would not be on this Zoom had I not opened my mouth. All right. It's a fact. But because I have that discipline instilled in me, it's kind of like, you know, it's a habit. When I talk to anybody, I could be sitting on an airplane. If you're sitting next to me, the conversation at some point is going to get to, you know, for life networking, transfer factor. And if they're not interested, I'll realize it right away. You know, I'm not going to, you know, throw them off the plane. You know, it's just, you know, it's no big deal. It's okay. You engage in conversation. So during that 90-day run, challenge yourself. All right. Rise to the occasion. All right. So you got warm market, you got cold market, you got OPP. So what are you doing during those 90 days? There's 3 things that you really want to be doing all the time to keep yourself busy. Number 1, you're scouting out new people. That means that you're making phone calls. You're doing posts on your social media. In fact, Michelle, I was blown away by the message you sent me, but you did your first post yesterday.
Yeah.
And how many likes did you get?
Over 700 within like an hour and a half.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and that's never happened on my own personal. It happened on, through this. So that was really
Nice.
cool.
Nice. Yeah. So again, that's engagement. You're engaging. All right. So you're getting the message out there. So you're going to be working the phones, talking to people. You're going to be messaging people. You're going to be putting posts on social media, inviting people to come take a look at what you're doing. But you want to engage. All right. And so number 1, you're talking to people for you. In other words, you intend on sponsoring them if everything works out, or you intend on them purchasing a product from you, whether it's Energy Go Sticks or whether it's the Aqua skincare, whatever it is, you're scouting people. All right. Number 2, those that are interested, you are going to start getting into their market. You're going to influence them, encourage them, inspire them to open up their door or open up their cell phone and say, you know what? I do know a few people that I think could be interested in this. And then invite them to come to one of our events. Now, if you feel confident enough to do the messaging yourself, go for it. I'll never tell anybody not to do it. But if you've tried it, and I'll get this now and then, Dave, I've talked to 20 people and everybody says no. I think it's about time that you use your upline. All right. I think it's about time you invite them to come to where they're going to see other people, strength in numbers, law of averages. All right. So don't try to do it all yourself. But, if you feel like you can, give it a shot. But even if you're doing it, look at Jeff Outgilbers. He didn't need me to start, but he knew he could leverage me. He could use Dave, and turned out that when Jeff went through his challenge, all right, that he went through, I was there as a sponsor and upline and kept driving his business. I was the one that talked to Dave Phillips. Well, I take that back. Jeff might have talked to him first, but I talked to Tommy Myers, who's under Dave Phillips, on my level of 5 or 6. And that led down to Edgar Mojica eventually. I talked to Edgar first, not Jeff. He was going through a challenge. So, and this is after the 90-day run, by the way, you guys. So, you run for the 90 days, you work hard, but like I think Claudia said, I keep running. For me, it's a lifetime run. I take breaks though. I took 2011 off when Gabby and I were in China. So, but the point is this. I was networking through people and I started meeting new people on my level 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so in this run, whether it's 90-day run or a 4-month run, your goal is to establish the base of your business. What do I mean by establish your base? In order for you to become a platinum in 4Life, which is the top, there's not one platinum in 4Life that makes under $100,000 a month. Not one. Okay. So you can rest assured that the day you become a platinum, you're at $1 million a year income. It's not bad. You can live pretty good on that. Right. So, but to get to platinum, you need to have 3 solid legs. That means 3 separate lines. And in that line, you will have to have built a gold. 1 gold, 2 gold, 3 golds. That's not going to happen overnight. It's a process of development. All right. But your base means you've identified someone. And that's number 3 in my plan of action. Identify. Identify in that leg. And it doesn't, in fact, most of the time, it's not the one you sponsor, but someone who's down below. All right. Give you an example. Here we have, let's just say real quick, we'll go to Siobhan. Siobhan, am I your sponsor?
Not directly.
No, I'm not.
No.
All right. Is your sponsor even on this call?
No.
Okay. It's fine. It's okay. No problem at all. Now, is your sponsor on this call?
No.
No. Is your sponsor on this call? No.
And
She's in Ecuador.
no. Where's
Here's my point.
Yeah.
You identify people, and I'm just using you as an example because I know that Jillian is very engaged. Claudia is very engaged. All right. They just have some things going on right now, and rightfully so. We all do. We all have lives. But the point is that I see you engaged and active. Now, if I was just starting my business, I would be on you like white on rice. Excuse that analogy, but what I mean is I would be talking to you. I would constantly, because I'm driving the downline. You follow me? I'm still trying to figure out, because other than Claudia, Jillian's fairly new, correct?
Mhm.
You're fairly new. So I want to establish my base of my business. I'm looking for who is that future gold to help me become a platinum. And the only way that I can become a platinum is by working with someone to get them to gold. Okay. And it might be you, Siobhan, meaning that if Jillian just kind of disappeared on us, and Claudia disappeared on us, and Gloria in Ecuador disappeared on us, I've gotten to know you a little bit. I've got your number. I know how to reach out to you. You follow me?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what all of us need to do. You want to play Mother Goose. You want to look at your downline, look at who's engaged, who's working, who's showing up. All right. And you want to just keep that relationship good with them and put yourself out there. Declare yourself, like I said. Okay. Those of you that are just getting started, you don't even know your base of your business yet. You're establishing that. That person who's your gold may be down on your 3rd, 4th, or 5th level. For me, it was my 9th level. I had to go through Jeff, a lot of people, to get to Erminio. Erminio was the one that became the first bronze, the first gold, the first platinum in my organization. My 9th level, but I identified that. I spent 5 years working with him. Okay. The same thing applies to our other legs in Indonesia or in Malaysia, in New Zealand. You know, Jeff's in the US, so that one begins in the US. Gabby, one of Gabby's legs begins in New Zealand. Okay. Now, how did that happen? Quick story. A lady came to the table from a company called Care International. Care went down, failed. Patty Faulkner was her name. She got into For Life. She was introduced as basically a lead. She was a lead from someone, a referral. Talked to her. She signed up. She brought a guy to the table who's in Arizona. He's still in For Life. I can't even remember his name. He's front line to Gabby. I should know his name. But anyhow, he despised 100 life points. All he does is qualify with 100 life points. It's been that way since 2000, 23 years. All he's ever done is buy 100 life points, nothing more. He sponsored somebody in Australia who sponsors somebody in New Zealand, Barry Blake. Any of you heard of Barry Blake? Some of you know Barry because he's gotten all of our calls, right? He's in New Zealand. Well, I identified him, Barry. I did not identify, Vince is gone, out of the system. He's the one in Australia. Patty Faulkner, gone, out of the system. When you're inactive more than 6 months, guess what happens? You're purged. The downline moves up. So now John Wood is his name, John Wood in Arizona. It goes me and Gabby, John Wood, Barry Blake. Patty and Vince are gone. But my relationship for 20 years has been with Barry. Just talked to him a couple of days ago. So as networkers again, you want to establish the base of your business and understand that the people that want to get to gold or bronze may not be the ones you sponsor. You follow me? They might be the ones that are sponsored by sponsors by sponsors. They might be on your 6th level. You as a networker want to identify that. So step 3 is to identify. My philosophy is real simple. Work with people that deserve your time. Now in the beginning, you don't know who that is. I was willing to sponsor my next door neighbor's cat when I started because the cat might lead me to the owner. You know what I'm saying? You'll sponsor anybody. You'll take anything when you're starting. You just kind of throw it against the wall and let's see what sticks. All right. But as time goes on, you need to start getting a bit more specific in who you're investing your time with. This is another one of my one-liners I told Michelle before the call here. It's easier to give birth than raise the dead. Now, you women here might disagree with me, but it's true. If someone's not ready, you don't beat them over the head. Go find someone new. Okay, give birth to a new baby distributor. It's a lot of fun when you get someone that wants to get started and they get excited. All right, so identify where you put your time and your energy. In the beginning, you put it into everybody because you've not yet identified. But I'll give you an example. Anderson, my guy in Brazil, he's now in his, he completed 4 years with me, or will complete 4 years in March. He will have completed 4 years with working with me in 4Life. Anderson signed up in March of 2020. What happened in March of 2020? COVID. So, wasn't the best time, to get involved where you're going to, you can't go out and talk to people. Everything has to be done on the phone or through virtual meetings online. But he hung in there. He hung in there and he didn't quit. Anderson today, he told me today, Dave, there's not enough hours in the day. I can't keep up with it. I said, Anderson, pace yourself and identify your key leaders. He's got now in his business 4 presidential elites, 1 bronze, and probably 12 presidentials now in his organization. He sent me his bonus report for this last run. His check went up by 4 times. We took about a 400% increase. All right. He's now doing close to 200,000 a month in business. It's exciting. He's so excited, but it took time. But Anderson was he started, and this is the next thing, and then we'll close out here. He learned how to work up the food chain. You guys know the food chain. You got the little algae in the ocean. Little fish comes and eats the algae. Bigger fish comes and eats that fish. Then a bigger fish eats that one. Pretty soon you got the shark that comes along and gobbles it. Sometimes people call me and say, Dave, I got a shark on the line. Can you help me? That means they got a big fish. That means somebody who maybe has a lot of influence. They're a networker. I enjoy talking to big fish. It's fun. All right. Especially if they've been in the industry of networking. Like one of the guys going to Utah with me was in the #1 distributor for Herbalife back in the 80s. And so it's kind of fun talking to him because we knew some of the same people that go back to the 80s. But my point is this: learn to work up the food chain, meaning that as you're talking to people, and I'm not being mean when I say that, by the way, okay? It just means that, like Anderson started, he was talking to a lot of, housewives, and it's great. We love housewives. Women, 80% of this business is women, right? But what kept happening to him, he kept building diamonds. He built a diamond, he built 23 diamonds, and not one of them could get to presidential diamond because none of them declared themselves and stepped up to rise to the occasion. And finally, as he started getting to his people's people, as I was teaching him, drive your downline, get in there. One of his diamonds, Graça is her name, and rightfully so. I mean, her husband's retired, and I think they're like in their 70s, and this isn't her life. But she made diamond. And so Anderson started sifting through the downline, identifying where to put his energy. And pretty soon, under Graça, found somebody named Milton down like on the 5th level, who found Ailton, who found like 2 ladies, and then Gildenberg, who's a networker, who sponsored Leandro. Leandro gave up everything to do this business full time, and he became a bronze in 4 months. See what can happen? So Anderson spends his time now working with Milton, Gildenberg, Ailton, Leandro, Renato. Yep, these are all of his presidentials, and he spends his time now. He's kind of worked up the foot. So Graça, she's a diamond. She knows where we are. She'll come to the meetings when she wants to. All right. We love her. She's wonderful. Graça has been to my house. She came over to the States to visit her family in Utah and came to our home. We love her. But understand, they have to want to be presidential diamond. They have to want to be a bronze. They have to want to be a gold. You can't force somebody to want it. They have to want it. So she's a diamond, doing close to 200,000. Probably about 150,000. That's a diamond. If she would just get to presidential, her income would probably go up by, I don't know, 8 times. But you can't force someone. You know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. All right. But Anderson learned how to work up the food chain. Had he just stayed focused on Graça, he probably wouldn't have those bronzes and platinum and presidentials below. But he learned how to get down into the network and work up with people. That's networking, right? So we talked about preparing your message. We talked about the lifeblood of the business during your 90 days, and really is for your entire networking career, prospecting. That's where the juice is. That's where the action is, right? You want to be in the action. Don't be on the sidelines. Don't be a cheerleader. Hey, everybody go, go. No, be on the field playing the game, all right? That's number 2. Number 3, your base. Identify. So in fact, when Michelle, as Michelle and I start working together and we start sponsoring people, getting her network going, I'll be asking her, how's so-and-so and how's so-and-so and how's this? And it's not that I'm trying to quiz her. I just need help, because where are we going to focus our time and energy as she starts building the base of her business? Okay. And the 4th part in my 90-day plan of action, you want to keep your relationship strong. So you keep good communication. Solidify means those relationships. That's the key to this business. That's what makes this business different than just some social media influencer. People that are on TikTok and YouTube, that's all wonderful, but it's like a big revolving door. There's no real emotional attachment. I mean, to some people, it might be like, I'm following LeBron James, on social media. That's great. You're emotionally attached. But for the most part, it's a relationship business. So the stronger you maintain your relationships with your people, the stronger your network. So keep your relationships solid, and you're constantly, there for your leaders. And, I can honestly say this, I'm not trying to brag, but I don't think there's one platinum of ours that would talk negatively about Gabbiano. For the most part, they love us because we started the journey with them, traveled the journey to the point where they didn't need us anymore. And then we let them spread their wings and fly. We're not controlling. I'm not controlling. I love it. If I could get Michelle, work with her, get her to platinum, and she writes, 4 books on network marketing and tells her success story. And, she's on stage and, she's got 10,000 people applauding her in the audience. I'll be one of them. That's what this is about. It's about freedom and success and independence. So that's the way I did my 90-day plan. All right. I ran it with Jeff. I ran it with a number of people. I ran it with Arminio. The only difference was working the phones. And then I would go out to Puerto Rico about once every 60 to 90 days. I was traveling out there, and I traveled that whole island, you guys. I know Puerto Rico better than most Puerto Ricans, and the Dominican as well. From Santo Domingo to all the way to Puerto Plata to Santiago, out doing meetings. Had a lot of fun too. Had to push car because the tire got, blew up. I'd be in the jungle. It's called what's the selva? Junca, I think they call it. in Puerto Rico, listening to the crickets while we're doing a presentation outside in a garage, you know, I have a lot of memories of getting started in some of those markets. So embrace the journey, have fun with it. All right. But your 90-day, 90 days of 8 to faint massive action. One other thing I think is real important, document. In other words, when you go to bed at night, ask yourself a simple question. What action did you take today? It's only 90 days. You're not going to die. All right. So you'd want to be engaged every day that you can, doing something so that your business grows, and hopefully it's prospecting. But if it's planning and downtime, that's okay. I have my notes. I'm going through my notes, looking at follow up. I took notes of people I talked to. Document. If you don't, you can't manage what you don't measure. You follow me? In other words, you have to document it somehow to be able to go back and say, oh, I got to follow up with this person. Today, there's CRMs, contact relationship managers. You can get them in your cell phone. The 4Life app is a CRM. If anyone needs help with that, we can do a training on that. It's real simple. Just click on contacts and start swiping away. Not interested, affiliate, customer, categorize your people, then go back and follow up with them. But you've got to have some sort of plan and document it. Otherwise, you're going to be like the wind just blowing around, And let me tell you something. First exposure isn't always, where people make a decision. I was very fortunate with Michelle because she didn't know me, sat in a chair, and she allowed me to reach out to her afterwards. In fact, Michelle, did I ask you for your phone number after you cut my hair?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
I had to have, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to message you.
Okay, yeah, you did. As a hairstylist of my brain, sometimes.
Yeah, but you gave me your phone number, but we had a conversation about that today. You got to be careful sometimes who you give your phone number to.
Right.
And so she didn't know if I was some weird dude, but she had enough faith, that she did. And so I completely understand that. It's pure, faith and belief. And, Michelle, she has a wonderful belief system. In fact, Michelle, as we close out here, if you don't mind sharing with everybody, what you say, I think is really important. You talk about divine intervention. You talk about, things happening for a reason. Just share why you gave your number maybe, and then why you allowed me to continue to talk to you.
Well, I was just cutting your hair and you said you were going to Brazil, and the conversation kind of flowed and went from there. And like you said, it was like a chess game, back and forth conversation, which turned into where we are now. Here we are. And the timing was right for me to be involved in this. It felt right. I always get the chill bumps on my arms when I feel like something is confirmed from the universe. I'm very spiritual, and synchronicities and everything has been aligning in life. And then I've been reading this book. I don't have it next to me, but it's a very spiritual book. It's 369, Nikola Tesla, The Key to the Universe. I believe everyone has their own beliefs, but my belief system, I have a lot of faith, and everyone, no matter what religion you are, faith is always, the main thing. But it came into my life at the perfect timing. I was praying for this. I was praying for something new, praying for something that gave me purpose and something that fit me. And this is right up my alley. I'm so into this, the skincare, the immunity, everything just was resonating with me. So it was it just kind of bam, and I'm very excited about the opportunity and to join the team. And I'm at this point in my life where I used to be kind of flaky and I used to be kind of, up and down, but I've been through so much that I am not doing that anymore. And I've changed my patterns and my habits, and I am ready. So I feel like it came at the right time.
Nice. Well, we're ready too. In fact, I think that it's going to be fun as we work together and build. Traveling the journey, you embrace it and you enjoy it and you have fun with it, And so my goal is to get you to platinum. and it seems like that is a desire you have to get to the top. So we're going to climb this mountain. Gabby and I are here to work with you and support you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So there'll be a lot of communicating going on, working together. And, for me, it's a lifetime relationship. This isn't something where we sponsor someone and say, all right, let's work for 90 days, 8 to faint. And after that, we just say goodbye. No, I'm hoping that, we're celebrating somewhere on a gold getaway platinum pinnacle, in, I don't know where I've been, 106 countries, in Mongolia, having a good time. But the point is it's a journey and you embrace it. But 90-day plan of action is a great way to kick off the year. So gauge yourself, pace yourself, but stay engaged. And at nighttime, last thing I want to say is this: each night for these next 90 days, when you go to bed, ask yourself a question. What did you do today to grow your business, to grow yourself, or help somebody else be better? All right, in your downline, in your organization. If the answer is nothing, well, then guess what's going to happen? Nothing. All right. So I would do that every night. I would go through the day, and then I would think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. All right. I understand you're all busy and you have, things going on in life, but you can still, carve out that time, your 4 lifetime. During that time, ask yourself what you did. Keep the main thing, which is 90 days of action, of prospecting, talking, communicating, messaging, social media posts, answering phone calls, working with your downline, and you'll be busy. And if you declare yourself and people look at you and they say, you know what? I feel your energy. I love what you're doing. I'm in. I'm ready to run with you. Trust me. All of a sudden things start to happen. People come to the table. The universe does throw it at you. All right. It brings it to you. Thanks, you guys. Love you all. It's been an hour now. So Claudia is gone. I want to pass it to Gabby to close us out, sweetie. If you don't mind, go ahead and close us out tonight. I know I took a whole hour. I apologize, you guys, but I can go on. But anyhow, I'm going to pass it to Gabby, sweetie.
Well, it's very exciting that we're going to corporate tomorrow. So because I'm going to corporate, I'm making a few gifts for some of my favorite corporate people. You know me, I'm a giver. Well, those of you that have received any gifts of mine. So look at how cute this is. I don't know if you can see it. I put some glitter iron-on this silk. It's like a silk thing. You put it on here to dress up your outfit. So anyway, this is going to go to Jerusa. She is the Foundation for Life contact person. And anyways, we love our corporate people. And of course, we love our distributors. So I just want to, Dave said it all. Just talk to people, just share the products, share the opportunity. The opportunity is actually the bonus because our products are amazing. And for those of you that are going to convention, you'll be trying out the products firsthand, the new ones. So with that, always, like I said, go on your 4Life app and there share the monthly special. It's a really good one. It's Renuvo with Presume. What a great combination. Renuvo, as we all know, is a recovery, anti-aging, stamina, and so much more. And if you combine it with Presume, I like to use the Presume just to flavor my water. For those of you that don't like just drinking water. So it is very delicious. I just put a little bit in there and it tastes so good. It's a watermelon flavor.
Gives you a lot of energy too.
Yes, it gives you subtle energy throughout the day. And of course, it's a pre-workout. So if you put a full scoop before your workout, 30 minutes before your workout, so drink it while you're going to the gym, like driving to the gym. It's a really good product. And I gave a sample to one of our inactive distributors a month ago. And he called me because he wanted to buy 3 more. And I said, why don't you just sign up? And he said, sure, let me sign up, but let me get 3 of them because I have more people interested in buying this and signing up. So we're actually probably going to see him tomorrow as well because he's going to be in Utah. So it's that easy. Just share. It's probably easier for some than others. But like I said, once you start trying the products, you're going to want to share. And I know every one of you knows that. Some of us have been in the company for a few years. So with that, mwah, we love you, Siobhan. I take it, I transfer it back to you. Sorry, I can't think right now.
Transfer factor it back to me.
That's a good one.
There you go. Claudia sent me a message, said to make sure you invite to the business opportunity meeting tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Dave, are you going to be running that?
No, I won't be on tomorrow. We're going to be in Utah. Dr. Ronnie gets in about that time. So we're picking her up at the airport.
Awesome. And I want to thank you. I'm going to call you the professor from now on because I learned so much from you. But also, you reminded me, I used to work for a life insurance agent, a life insurance company, a big one, when I came out of university. And I went to my warm market and I became like the, top in the top 10 of the rookies that year in the country. And one of the first people that bought from me was my dad. He bought $100,000 whole life.
Isn't it wonderful when your family
policy.
supports you rather than putting a bullet in your head saying, don't do that. It might, I'm sorry, Siobhan, but I've got to just tell you guys one thing real quick that really had an impact on my life. I apologize. When I was 18 years old, I answered an ad in the newspaper and I thought I was going in for a job interview. Okay. Went there, pulled into the parking lot. I was driving a Chevrolet Chevette. You guys remember the Chevette? It's like a little tin can, all right? Pulled in, and all of a sudden this guy comes driving in, parks just a couple stalls down from me. And he gets out, he's driving a Thunderbird, a T-Bird. He gets out, and I'll never forget, his watch was glistening. The sun hit it, it just happened to glisten. And, he walked away. Well, when I finally found the room, the suite I was going to, the office, I walked in, and he was in there, standing up in front. I sat down and he started talking. And there was a room full of probably about, 40 something people. They were all there. They answered the same ad. Well, I thought I was there for a job interview. You know what he says? You're all hired. Well, at that point, probably 80% of the people got up and left because they figured this is a scam. Okay. I'm here for a job. He says, we're all hired. I was curious and stuck around. When he was done, I bought from him a set of Cutco cutlery. You ever heard of Cutco? I bought a set of Cutco cutlery, all right, from him on like a payment plan. And he became my first mentor in direct selling. All right. And you know what he taught me more than anything? His name was John Gecko. John Gecko. He taught me the art of the presentation. And I learned that when I was 18 years old. And that really was the beginning of my career, of all this. But when you saying that right now, just triggered, my memory. But my dad today has that demo set. He has it. And I was 18, I'm 63. He supported me. He said, son, this could be really good for you. Learn everything you can. And he has that demo set of mine today.
And learn from Dave and Gabriella, because you got to learn from the best to beat them. Right. And I remember, you just reminded me of my life insurance manager. He had been from my college. He recruited me out of college, and he would walk me around the block, and there was a big department store there that it was, 100-year-old department store. And he says, remember, Siobhan, this wasn't built in a day. So anytime I felt like the prospecting was getting hard, I was getting those no's, I actually got to interview Andrea Waltz from Go for the No. She wrote Go for the No with her co-author, and I got to interview her, and it's the same idea that you talked about the other day. You know, go for 100 no's, because you're going to get a whole lot of yeses
Right.
out of that. Yeah. So
No
thank you,
is a
everybody.
contribution to your business.
And so make sure you invite people to the business opportunity meeting tomorrow night. And we wish Gabriella and Dave safe travels to the land of snow and ice
Thank you.
in Utah.
It's on the calendar, you guys. Uplandpro.com. Go to the calendar. The link's right there for tomorrow's opportunity meeting.
Okay. We're
Thank you,
closing it up.
everyone. Love you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.